So Metacritic is a site I'm sure many of you have heard of. If you browse social media, particularly Twitter, I'm certain you've seen those posts going, X video game has gotten Y score on Metacritic. If you don't know what Metacritic is, it is a site that collects reviews and ratings from a wide range of publications and sites and compiles meta scores, which is the be-all end-all opinion of a media product. And that's great, just being able to quickly check what on average respectable critics and journalists rate something out of 100. But there is a problem with Metacritic, or a few problems. It has a dark side to it. It has some skeletons in its closet, real ones, like actually dead people. Metacritic has two categories of ratings. The previously mentioned Metascore, which is taken from a bunch of different publications and combined to make the all-holy sacred Metascore. Some people, such as myself, don't really like judging a game from the Metascore. There is a long-running joke that game journalists are not good at playing games, but great at yapping about them and then drumming up pointless controversy, kinda like me. Needless to say, critics may not always be the place to go to get recommendations. There is always another opinion you can take from the common man. The sweat-covered, body odor-smelling, acne-faced, morbidly obese gamer who does nothing but play games all day. Those are the guys I want to hear from. If anyone knows video games, it's them. This guy. This fat piece of... So the second category of Metacritic ratings is the user score, which is exactly what it sounds like. Users of Metacritic can submit a rating and even a review of the game, which contributes to the big ol' user score number beside the game. But why would you want to hear from normal, ordinary people rather than trained professional critics? Well, there's a few reasons why I dislike critic opinions. As previously mentioned, some of them are downright bad at video games or just don't know what they're talking about, and also a lot of publications try to stir up controversy with their reviews. They try to be polarizing for the clicks, even if they're in the minority with their fake or delusional takes. So you're not always going to get trustworthy opinions. Now, us commoners will always speak our mind. We're always going to be honest with our beliefs. Well, most of the time. The appeal of listening to normal people rather than those hired by publications is exactly that. They are normal people. They're probably not there to go deep into technical aspects of games. They're just there to talk about what they liked or didn't. But there comes some issues with Metacritic's user score. While the concept is great, I love that you can go to Metacritic to get two different views from two types of people. It is still incredibly flawed, and I'm here to tell you why. I'm just gonna come out of the woodwork and say what we've all been thinking, but haven't had the courage to do so. Metacritic is a heaping pile of stinky poopy trash. The main place where most people go to see whether a game is worth playing is unreliable and houses some of the most insane console warriors. Let me tell you about review bombing. You probably already know what it is, but I'm going to tell you anyway. Review bombing is a coordinated attack on a product, in this case video games. It's when a large group of people get together and plant a shit on a game's reputation in order for the game to look bad, to affect the game sales and the community's trust of the developers. But how does Metacritic let this happen? I mean, surely they don't want their site to be unreliable and negatively biased towards games that don't deserve it. We'll get to that. The way that these review bombings occur is because Metacritic doesn't ask for identification. It doesn't verify if you played a game or if you're just there to spout nonsense about something you don't understand. They don't verify reviews, they just let anyone go to their site and give something a bad score. Now, I'm all for free speech and having your own opinion and all that. After all, I've had opinions that most people disagree with on this channel. But how can you have opinions as strong as this if you most likely haven't played the damn game? There are digital storefronts that have more reliable reviews because they actually ask you to own the game before you can give your opinion on it, and that would be incredibly easy for Metacritic to do and wouldn't tarnish their reputation one bit. In fact, it would probably improve it and make it the go-to site for entertainment reviews and ratings. Now, let me take you to the lab and give you my theory. And this is purely theoretical, I'm not accusing anyone of anything, but maybe Metacritic doesn't implement verification into their system because they like their large user base and the engagement they get from said users. Allowing people to rate anything they want, no matter whether they've played it or not, is the easiest way to get them to engage with Metacritic's site. You've got to remember, there are some really sad people out there who are so chronically online that they'll organize a review bomb against a game, sometimes not even because of the game, but because of the creators or someone on the development team that they don't like. Now, I'd quickly like to mention a few other discrepancies I've noticed from Metacritic, or things I generally just don't like about it. Tell me why The Last of Us Part 2 Remastered rated lower than the original game. In what world does that even make sense? Well, apparently the strange world of game journalism, because despite the remaster being an improvement over the original in every possible way, it is considered to be slightly worse. Oh, Naughty Dog added in a new game mode and some visual improvements? Disgusting. The trash can's down the corridor and to your right. Ew! And I know this isn't technically Metacritic's fault because this is not the opinion of the users but of the publications, but it's just misleading, right? What's worse is the launch scores tend to stay with the game even if improvements have been made later down the line. For instance, Shadow of War was notorious for releasing with a ton of unwanted microtransactions which were later removed. Unfortunately for Warner Bros. Games, the original Metacritic score has left a stain on that game's reputation, even though that game is genuinely amazing now. The same sort of thing happened with Battlefront 2, so it's a pretty common ordeal. And obviously people who are looking into these games will see the negative scores and think they're not worth buying. It's really inconsistent and misleading. I guess the underlying issue with Metacritic is that it places a number out of 100 onto a pedestal. That's what everyone sees, that's the thing that matters, and it's not Metacritic's fault, but a number can't contain a review of a game, or anything for that matter. It just oversimplifies the intricacies and complexity of the product, but what can you do? We all love a good number, we all love comparing one number to the other to see which is higher. Metacritic doesn't offer depth. It just offers a general idea of how good something is, and the rest is up to you. Will you trust that number, or will you dig deeper and gain an understanding of something before you buy it? I'd like to clarify that I'm not blaming Metacritic for that, it's just another issue on top of a mountain of problems. So what's the solution to this here problem? What do you do if you want to break out of Metacritic's matrix? What's the red pill? Well, I thought it was obvious. Subscribe to my channel. I do the occasional review here. My last one wasn't that long ago, only for... Now, here's a fun raccoon fact. Us males are deadbeat dads. No, I'm not joking. Go search it up. See ya.